When we keep searching for joy from others, we often overlook the most precious treasure already resting within ourselves. Have you ever wondered if the secret to true happiness isn't about being surrounded by people, but about learning to enjoy your own presence? As Buddha once said, "Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without." Imagine this: rather than chasing the noise and chaos of the world, you find deep satisfaction in the gentle, steady rhythm of your own heart. In today's video, we're going to explore 7 life-changing lessons that will help you discover the joy of being alone and turn solitude into your greatest source of strength. Let's dive in and see just how powerful it can be to truly enjoy your own company. Lesson 1. Choose solitude over meaningless connections. In today's fast-paced society, we're constantly encouraged to stay connected, to always be around others. But that mindset often makes us forget the importance of being selective about who we allow into our lives. Buddhist teachings remind us that sometimes solitude is far better than keeping relationships that add no value. When you learn to embrace being alone, you remove the influence of negative or shallow company. This gives your mind and spirit a safe space to grow in peace and clarity. True wisdom blooms when you're no longer distracted by unproductive social chatter. In that stillness, your inner voice becomes louder, more confident, and more authentic. Remember, being alone is better than being with someone who holds you back. Solitude nurtures growth, while toxic company only weighs you down. In that quiet space, you'll discover what truly matters, where clarity surfaces and peace begins to take root. Lesson 2. Spend time alone to truly know yourself. The more time you dedicate to yourself, the better you'll understand who you really are. Without the noise of outside distractions, you can take a deeper look at your desires, your strengths, and even your hidden fears. This journey of self-awareness is a core principle in Buddhism. Knowing yourself is the path to greater wisdom and lasting peace. Time spent alone lets you question your thoughts, challenge your motivations, and develop a deeper understanding of your own mind. When you meditate, or even just sit quietly with yourself, you start peeling back the layers of old conditioned beliefs you've carried for years. Slowly but surely, you realize that many of the answers you've been chasing in the outside world have been sitting inside you all along, just waiting for you to notice them. Every silent moment you spend in your own company becomes a gentle step toward clarity. In that stillness, without the influence of outside voices, you finally see yourself for who you truly are. Lesson 3. Transform the fear of being alone into strength. For many people, solitude feels intimidating. The idea of being alone can stir up fear. But from a Buddhist perspective, this fear isn't a curse. It's an invitation. It's an opportunity to face your inner world and emerge stronger on the other side. Being alone doesn't mean you're lacking something. It's a space to realize you are already whole, already enough. As you grow more comfortable in your own presence, you begin to see that your happiness isn't dependent on anyone else's approval or attention. This shift builds emotional resilience. You no longer rely on others to define your worth. That old belief that we need someone else to complete us fades away. And with it, the chains of unhealthy attachments break, freeing you from relationships that drain your energy rather than nourish your soul. In this newfound independence, you learn to treasure the quiet. You recognize that solitude is where your inner strength is nurtured and protected. You become your own anchor, steady and grounded, even when no one else is around. Lesson 4. Solitude as the sacred ground for self-discovery. Time alone isn't just empty space. It's sacred space. It's where you can finally listen to your own thoughts without the constant hum of other people's opinions. It's where you can explore the depths of your heart and mind, uncovering your true potential. Buddhism teaches that solitude is a doorway to your deeper nature. Free from the clutter of outside expectations, you can finally see your strengths, passions, and the things that spark real joy within you. As this connection with yourself grows stronger, your perspective on life transforms. You see the world with sharper clarity and stand in it with more confidence and purpose. In these quiet moments, something remarkable happens. You reconnect with your deepest values, recalibrate your priorities, and rediscover passions that may have been buried under the weight of daily responsibilities. Solitude becomes the doorway to true self-acceptance. And in embracing that acceptance, you unlock the freedom to live as your most authentic self. This isn't just a pause from the outside world. It's a journey toward profound peace and transformative personal growth. Lesson 5. The strength found in self-reliance. One of Buddhism's timeless teachings is the power of self-reliance. The understanding that your well-being, happiness, and progress ultimately rest in your own hands. When you step away from the constant noise and influence of others, you start to see just how capable you truly are. You realize that you can meet life's challenges head-on, drawing strength and solutions from within. This realization is a turning point. It frees you from the belief that you must always depend on others for encouragement or validation. Instead, you begin to cultivate the skills and resilience needed to stand firmly on your own, no matter what storms may come. As your self-reliance grows, a powerful sense of empowerment takes root. You no longer feel the urge to constantly seek approval or direction from outside sources. This doesn't mean you isolate yourself or refuse help. When it's truly needed, it means you understand that the core of your strength lives inside you, not in the opinions or actions of others. The less you depend on the outside world to provide your happiness or security, the more peace you'll uncover within yourself. And that peace comes from knowing that no matter what life throws your way, you already have the resources inside you to navigate both the highs and the lows. Independence isn't about shutting people out. It's about recognizing that your foundation is strong enough to stand on its own. You can still cherish and nurture deep, meaningful relationships, but you now understand a powerful truth. No one else holds the key to your inner peace. When you learn to solve problems and regulate your emotions on your own, an unshakable confidence begins to grow. You know deep down that no matter what life brings you, already possess the skills and resilience to navigate through it. This journey into self-reliance also cultivates something priceless: self-trust. You start believing in your own judgment, making decisions based on your inner compass, rather than the constant opinions of others. That trust allows you to face life's unpredictability with a calm, grounded presence, because you know that whatever comes, you'll figure it out. Over time, the self-doubt fades. You stop questioning your abilities and start embracing your capacity to overcome challenges. You become your own strongest ally, discovering that the answers you've been searching for were within you all along. It's simply a matter of trusting yourself enough to uncover them. This inner strength changes how you see obstacles. Instead of shrinking back in fear, you meet them as opportunities to grow sharper, wiser, and stronger than before. Lesson 6. The beauty of self-companionship. You are enough. Among the most profound Buddhist teachings is this: you are already enough exactly as you are. Yet in a world where we're constantly pushed to seek validation, whether through social media, likes, romantic relationships, or material success, it's easy to forget that true contentment is born within, not given from the outside. Self-companionship is the art of being your own best friend, your own source of love, and your own wellspring of happiness. It's learning to delight in your own company, to find peace in those quiet moments spent alone. When you choose to spend time with yourself, you get to know your mind and heart more deeply. You become more aware of your thoughts, your feelings, and your true desires, without the distortion of other people's opinions. This growing self-awareness builds a deeper, healthier relationship with yourself. One where you no longer depend on outside approval to feel worthy. And perhaps most beautifully, you learn to embrace every part of yourself, your strengths, your flaws, and the unique qualities that make you who you are. Knowing deep in your heart that you are already enough exactly as you are is one of the most liberating realizations you can have. It frees you from the exhausting treadmill of trying to live up to everyone else's expectations. With this awareness comes a gentler way of being with yourself, one rooted in kindness and compassion. Far too often we become our own harshest critics, quick to pounce on our mistakes and magnify our flaws. But self-companionship invites you to treat yourself with the same warmth and patience you would show a dear friend. When you stumble, instead of tearing yourself down, you speak words of encouragement. You offer forgiveness. You remind yourself that missteps are part of the journey, not the end of it. This ongoing practice of self-compassion lays the foundation for a healthy, loving relationship with yourself. The kind of relationship where inner peace and lasting happiness can truly grow. As you become more at ease in your own company, something shifts. You no longer crave constant validation to feel worthy. Your confidence starts to come from within, anchored in the quiet knowledge that your value isn't decided by anyone else's opinion, but by the way you see and honor yourself. And here's the beautiful part, that quiet inner confidence naturally radiates outward. People feel it. They're drawn to it. But the difference is, you no longer need their approval to feel complete. Self-companionship also means discovering the joy of being alone without feeling lonely. Many people avoid solitude because they confuse it with isolation. But the truth is, being alone and being lonely are two very different things. When you embrace self-companionship, solitude becomes a sanctuary. You find peace in the stillness, joy in your own presence. You might pick up a long-forgotten hobby, dive into a good book, take unhurried walks, or meditate in the early morning light. These simple acts connect you more deeply to yourself, creating a sense of fulfillment that no one else can give you because it comes entirely from within. As your practice of self-companionship deepens, something powerful begins to take root. You cultivate a natural independence and a quiet self-sufficiency. You come to understand on a soul-deep level that your happiness is your responsibility alone, and that lasting fulfillment is born from within, not handed to you by external sources. This sense of inner peace becomes your steady anchor, holding you firm, even when life's storms roll in. You no longer see solitude as something to fear or avoid, but as an essential part of your growth and self-care. Time alone becomes your sanctuary, a place to recharge your energy, reflect on your path, and reconnect with your truest self. With each moment you spend in your own company, your emotional resilience grows. You become less reactive to the noise and demands of the outside world, more attuned to your own needs, and more anchored in your personal truth. When you're truly content with who you are, the opinions of others, whether praise or criticism, no longer have the power to shake your core. You carry an inner calm that allows you to move through life's highs and lows with grace and clarity. This emotional independence is the key to a life built on peace, self-assurance, and freedom from the constant craving for outside approval. One of the most beautiful rewards of self-companionship is how it transforms your relationships with others. When you are comfortable and happy on your own, you no longer form bonds out of fear, loneliness, or the need to be completed. Instead, you choose connections rooted in mutual respect, genuine affection, and shared values. You don't seek someone to fill the gaps in your life because you already feel whole. This shift creates relationships that are healthier, more balanced, and more enduring. Both people can thrive because the bond isn't built on dependency, but on choice. And as your sense of self-worth solidifies, you stop chasing external markers of happiness. You stand strong, emotionally stable and resilient, ready to handle challenges with confidence. In the space of self-companionship, you uncover a joy and fulfillment that can't be taken away because it doesn't depend on what you own, where you are, or who stands beside you. It comes from the loving, respectful, and unshakable relationship you've built with yourself. And the most beautiful part, that relationship is always with you, no matter where life takes you or what storms you face. It becomes your anchor in life's storms, your steady source of strength when doubts creep in, and your endless well of happiness when the world feels uncertain or unsteady. You are enough exactly as you are. Embracing that truth allows you to move through life with greater joy, deeper peace, and unshakable confidence. Every step you take towards self-companionship brings you closer to the lasting contentment that's been waiting inside you all along. Lesson 7. Honor the power of your individuality. We live in a world that constantly nudges us, sometimes shoves us toward conformity. We're told to dress a certain way, follow the latest trends, and live according to the unwritten rules of how things should be. But Buddhist philosophy invites us to honor our individuality, to remember that each of us is a unique expression of life with our own talents, strengths, and inner wisdom. Being an individual means having the courage to stand as yourself without twisting or shrinking to fit into the molds that society hands you. It's about celebrating the qualities that make you you, and understanding that your uniqueness is not a flaw to hide, but a source of tremendous strength. Solitude becomes the perfect space for this reconnection. When you step away from the constant influence of other people's opinions and judgments, you begin to hear your own voice more clearly. You start to reflect on your genuine desires, your personal values, and the things that truly matter to you, not the things you've been told should matter. In this quiet, you can separate yourself from the roles, labels, and identities that may have been layered onto you over time. You begin to see yourself for who you are beyond all that noise. You learn to respect your own beliefs, passions, and principles without bending to outside pressures. Valuing your individuality means fully embracing the truth that you are not here to be a copy of anyone else. And that's not just okay, it's essential. You are here to walk your own unique path, make your own choices, and live a life that is aligned with your personal truth. That's where your greatest strength lies. This realization can feel incredibly empowering because it frees you from the endless cycle of comparing yourself to others or chasing their approval. Instead, you begin to place trust in your own judgment, following the quiet guidance of your inner compass. You recognize that your individuality is your signature, something no one else can replicate. In a world that often measures worth through job titles, social status, or possessions, Buddhist wisdom invites us to turn inward to find our value in the essence of who we truly are. The more you embrace your uniqueness, the less you feel weighed down by the expectations of others. You start to see that your worth isn't defined by how well you fit into society's molds. It's defined by how faithfully you live in alignment with yourself. This shift in perspective builds self-confidence and ignites a sense of pride in your authentic identity. Being an individual also means having the courage to stand alone when necessary. There will be moments when your values, beliefs, or choices clash with those around you. In those moments, it's essential to remain true to yourself, even if it means walking a path that few will understand. Buddhism reminds us that real strength rises from within, and part of that strength is honoring who you are, despite outside opinions or criticism. When you embrace your uniqueness, the urge to fit in fades away, replaced by a deep commitment to living according to your own values. Accepting your individuality allows you to make decisions that align with your deepest beliefs and dreams, rather than following trends or chasing goals that don't resonate with you. Instead of living for someone else's approval, you create a life that feels purposeful, meaningful, and entirely your own. This sense of personal freedom is one of the most profound rewards of embracing your individuality. It gives you the courage to walk your path unburdened by the weight of societal demands. And valuing your individuality doesn't mean cutting yourself off from others. It means engaging with people in a way that's honest and genuine. When you honor your own uniqueness, you also give others permission to do the same, creating connections built on mutual respect and authenticity. When you show up as your authentic self, something beautiful happens. Your relationships deepen and become more genuine. You're no longer wearing a mask or trying to mold yourself into someone else's expectations. Instead, you connect from a place of truth, which fosters mutual respect and understanding. People are naturally drawn to authenticity, and when you embrace who you truly are, you attract those who appreciate and value the real you. Another powerful aspect of honoring your individuality is realizing that your unique perspective, your life story, and even your struggles hold meaning and value for the world. Every person's journey is different, and the lessons you've lived through shape the way you see and experience life. By embracing your distinct path, you offer something no one else can replicate. Your voice, your ideas, and your actions matter because they come from a place only you can stand. Once you truly see this, you stop trying to imitate others and begin showing up with a confidence that comes from within. Ultimately, valuing your individuality is about accepting and celebrating the beauty of your own life journey. It's about recognizing that every high and low you've experienced has shaped you into who you are today, and that path belongs to you alone. It's about holding firm to your truth, even when the world around you urges you to blend in. Buddhism teaches us that the road to peace and enlightenment begins with authenticity, living in harmony with your real nature. When you embrace your individuality, you tap into a freedom and strength that allows you to live with purpose, joy, and meaning. By honoring what makes you unique, you become a light of truth in a world that often encourages sameness. You inspire others to celebrate their own differences and live in alignment with who they are. In doing so, you help create a world that welcomes diverse ideas, fresh creativity, and authentic expression. And through it all, remember this: you are already enough exactly as you are. By valuing your true self, you open the door to a life filled with genuine happiness, deep inner peace, and lasting fulfillment. The joy of being at peace with yourself is one of Buddhism's greatest gifts. When you learn to truly enjoy your own company, solitude transforms into a space of growth, serenity, and profound happiness. Thank you for being here. If this message has touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more timeless Buddhist wisdom. I'd love to hear from you. Share in the comments how you find happiness in your own company. Your stories and insights might just inspire someone else on their journey towards self-discovery.